So we're all here today because we're leaders. We're leaders in our life, we're leaders in our organizations, we're leaders at work. And feedback plays a very, very important part of you having a great life, great and happy clients, getting more clients, and also having richer relationships. So we need to go out and ask for feedback, and I'll explain why we don't, because everybody's like, no, I hate that idea, no. But people who receive and act on feedback will remain 43% more engaged at the work. So the people that you get to work with, if you give them feedback, they're now more engaged in it. It's a relationship you form. Leaders who actually go out and seek feedback are reported to be in the top 83% of effectiveness in their organizations on a repeat basis. And they've learned how to do it. If you take nothing else away today, I want you to remember that great feedback, when you ask for it, when you receive it, and when you give it, has context, one thing, and needs to have an example. But you need to realize great feedback has those three things. The reason we don't hear it is we get hung up on who and how. We've all had those conversations. I cannot believe she said that, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, what did they say? I don't know. Don't care. It was horrible. And there's a problem with that, but there's a beauty in it as well. So why do I share this? When we want to get clients happier, when we want to have those really great relationships, to build networking, to build partnerships, and to get new clients, they need to feel valued. Asking for feedback actually makes people feel valued. Jim Carrey, 2 or 3 years ago, had this statement I found very profound that I enjoy immensely. Your true currency in life is your ability to positively influence and affect others. It's not the money you leave behind. It's not the fact they miss hugging you. They miss the influence you had in their life when you're gone. That is a great thing to aspire to. Maya Angelou, bless her, rest her soul, did remind us that they don't remember what you said or did, it's how you made them feel. When you want to make a client feel valued, ask them for feedback. It is a brilliant thing that will give you information you didn't have before. You didn't know that was their perspective. And now they feel ownership of your success because they feel as if they participated in your success because you asked what they thought. I want to improve my customer service. What's the one thing you think I can do? Could you give me an example of what that looks like to you? Context, one thing, an example. I would love for my website to speak to more of my target market. You seem to be in my target market. I would love to have you as a client, but what's the one thing my website could do to engage you more? Could you give me an example of where you've seen that before so I could go see it? The same thing when someone wants to give you feedback. Who here has ever received feedback unsolicited? You were in a bad mood, didn't care, didn't want it? They were giving it anyway. There is a way to stop them in their tracks. You go, stop. They're like, this and this. Oh, what? Thank you. You know, the fact that you actually want to give me this information, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, they're not expecting that. But say, what's this in reference to? Context. And they go, oh, it was in reference to the meeting earlier. Oh, now I have a much better frame of reference for what they're saying. Okay, remind me again what was the most important. You've got many things to tell me. I appreciate that. But out of those, I can only handle one thing today. What's the most important thing you'd like me to know today about that meeting? Can you give me an example of what you didn't like or how you want me to improve? Anything along those lines. When you actually stop them and receive what they're so poorly, badly giving, you are a leader in that conversation. And now they feel heard and valued, and they will do better the next time. It's the psychology of one thing. See, mentally, science has identified that we only can handle one piece of information at a time, good or bad. Think about it. You just did a great presentation. And somebody goes, that was a great presentation. And you can walk around all day unpacking, like, I prepared for it. It was like, it was 10 slides. It was like, But if they say, hey, it was a great presentation, you looked great, you sounded great, everything was great, you're like, what? Well, that's a lot. I mean, like, is there anything you didn't like? I mean, you can't gauge it. You weigh everything equally. In fact, when you get more than one piece of good information, you marginalize the rest. You start going, what do they want? And we just downplay it. Now, if you take negative, more than one thing becomes a personal attack. So if somebody says, you know, you really need to make the meetings faster, and oh, by the way, I'd like to be able to have a tighter agenda, and I really want shorter PowerPoints, and just, they don't like me, they hate me, I suck at this, right? It becomes personal. We cannot multitask improve. We have to process. We have to put brain space around it. So the psychology of one thing is true psychological research. So if we can only handle one thing at a time, that allows us to really grow and improve or appreciate the good. So how do we maximize this information? How do we take this context and this one thing and this example and really put it in practice? An example is a beautiful thing because it separates gossip from fact. So if somebody says, I heard that you, and you go, really? Can you give me an example? Well, no, I wasn't there. Don't have to take it. You're good. So it's a really great way that you as a leader know that you need to be able to provide an example when you want them to change. Asking. When you want to ask for it, know your context. I would really like to be better at social media. What is my first step? Can you give me an example? Or what's the most important thing to remember? Can you give me a reason? So if you flip that around, you automatically know how to give it. You know you're going to have to go to somebody and say, preface it. I want to talk to you about the meeting this morning. I think there's really one area that you would really shine. I'd like for you to try this, and here's the example. And they're going to go, this is awesome. I can work with that. And they walk off and they kind of brain space this all day. The next time they come back, you have more feedback, they're going to be willing to listen. As a leader, if you want to give feedback, you need to ask for it first. You need to go around and say, hey, I would like to improve in this. What is your opinion? What's the one thing you think I should do? They may be so floored, you're asking them that, that's okay. Come back to them 2 days later. Remember when I asked you about it? Have you thought about it? I'd like to know your thoughts. Do you have an example? And they're going to feel like a rock star that you picked them out and asked them. This is a big deal in building relationships with your clients, finding new clients, because suddenly they are going to start referring you because they love how you work with them and take their input. So ask them, what is the most important thing you want me to think about as I move forward?